So let's talk about crisis management. For decades, the best practice in crisis management was held up to be Johnson & Johnson Tylenol, and the way they recalled the affected capsules immediately in 1981 or 82 when this happened. Now when you see the same company, Johnson & Johnson, at the same time knew about the presence of asbestos in their baby powder. They knew about this as far back as 1957, though of course at that time asbestos was not considered harmful. That only happened 20 years after that. But why did they respond the way they responded, where internal company documents apparently show that there were whistleblowers and the evidence was covered up? Why didn't they respond? Why didn't they respond on time? Eventually, the issue was boiled over into public litigation, class action, and the company has been forced to take the extreme step of hiving off the entire baby business into a separate company to protect the rest of the company from this class action lawsuit and resultant damages. Big question that arises is, could the company have handled this better? And that brings us to this whole issue of crisis management. How should companies handle crisis? Are there some underlying rules for crisis management? This is one of the things we teach at the Indian School of Business. We teach the 10 rules of crisis management. The first rule, you start off by recognizing that there is a crisis. It's quite possible that because the issue was around from 1957 to now, that there was the frog in boiling water syndrome, where the company did not recognize the crisis sufficiently to do something about it. But everything starts from that first step. Recognize there's a crisis. Don't panic. Recognize it. And then there's a whole lot of steps you take. One of the most important steps is to remind yourself of what are the core values that you as a company consider important, that you will not compromise. And all your decisions and actions flow out of these two decisions. First, recognize there's a crisis. Remind yourself of your core values, and then everything else flows. There are, of course, 10 rules of crisis management. I'm not going to cover all the 10 rules in this short video, but yes, Johnson & Johnson could have, should have handled this crisis a lot better than they did. It should not have come to the eventuality it is.